Hi, everybody, and welcome. My name is Cody Alan. We are counting down to the world premiere of the brand new video for Matt Stell, That Ain't Me No More, now just minutes away. I feel like we're launching like a SpaceX rocket.
Folks just trying to stay busy, in what we do. Like the touring part of it, obviously, was just over with for the most part. Luckily we're getting back to that. But I did a lot of what we're doing right now, sitting and writing songs and getting comfortable doing that over technology. So I did a bunch of that, and that was really mostly it, because it was about all you could do. So we just been trying to keep safe and play shows when we can and write. We wrote a bunch of songs. I wrote a bunch of songs.
We're counting down to the new video in just a second. And when you see the new video, you're going to see, again, how incredibly tall you actually are. You were a baller back in school, basketball player, and you played football too, right?
No, I didn't. My college or my high school, neither one of them had football. Like my high school, I graduated with 27 kids, so there was not enough bodies to field a team. I would have loved to, though.
Except on the field. That's maybe what I'm thinking of with Jimmy Allen in that other video, right?
Right. It just looked cooler on a football field than it did in a basketball gym. It echoes in there, the shoe squeaks, and so we did it on the football field. That's some poetic license there, but yeah, I used to hoop. I still like to a little bit.
I feel like you would have made a great quarterback though with the height that you have going. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure I could have found some way to cost the whole county state at some point. So I'm glad I didn't.
We have our first fan question here. This is from DH37076, which sounds like a code for something that I don't know what that is. That's a weird name to have, I think, on Twitter. But nonetheless, the question is really good. Between you, Justin Moore, Joe Nichols, or Ashley McBride, who can call the Arkansas Razorbacks Woo Pig Suey the best? This I don't know. Would it be you?
Well, I'll say it this way. I've never heard those folks call the Hogs, but I could set the bar very, very high.
Okay, we're waiting.
Okay, now I guess I have to do it.
Yeah.
Pig Suey Razorbacks. You're supposed to do that 3 times, but you get it.
Yeah, I got it. Pretty good. All right, we'll have that with you and Justin Moore at some point. Another question from @SaltyMalty, which I like this name. I saw your homeschool sessions about where dust comes from. What's another mind-blowing fact you have learned and can share, Matt?
Man, I've read a bunch of cool books over quarantine, and I think the coolest thing that I learned is that time passes slower the closer you are to sea level or to the center of the earth, because the earth is a big gravitational mass, right? So if you had an identical twin and you two were at birth and one was raised in Denver and you were raised in Miami, the difference between how far y'all are from the center of the earth would make you at the end of your lives actually a little bit younger than your twin, because as you compare the two, because time passes slower as you get to large gravitational masses.
That's crazy cool. The stuff that you're learning, that's awesome.
Yeah, that one blew my mind a little bit.
Speaking of things you've been doing over quarantine, have you been songwriting quite a bit?
A bunch, man. Yeah. Still turns out girl only really kind of rhymes with world, but there's a few other ones, but it turns out we've exhausted that one trying to figure that out. But yeah, it's pretty much girl and world.
Well, we can't wait to see what you come up with out of quarantine, because I feel like a lot of artists are doing that, where they just have so much time. It's like all the songs are coming. So bring it. We're ready for more. Besides basketball in school, at what point did you decide like music was the thing?
Well, I kind of fell into playing music, in college, and it just kind of grabbed a hold of me. I knew I always had a passion for music, but I thought everybody loved music, and it just turned out that I really loved it a lot, and it's all I wanted to do. And I knew when I got done playing ball that was what I was going to try to dedicate all my time to trying to do. And I mean, it just kind of replaced one dream with another. And once I figured out that I had that bug, and I started, figuring out what I like to listen to, which influenced, what I like to create. It just kind of the wheels kind of got to rolling, and then they finally, ended up here in Nashville, and this morning getting to talk to you.
It's one thing to have like a number one, like I said, Prayed for You, but having Everywhere But On also go to the top of the charts. Do you feel pressure at all? Like, okay, now I got to do it again. I got to make it 3 in a row.
Man, I mean, a little bit. Like when Pray for You went number one, I had no expectations. I didn't know anything that was going on. That song kind of came out of nowhere. We put it out, and it snowballed and kind of got its own thing going. And then Everywhere But On is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. So to watch it go to radio and have some success, and it mattered to people, is it was really special. But I noticed that when the song was getting into the top 10, and then even the top 5 after that, I had some expectations like, oh, well, Pray for You did this. So I guess there is a little bit of that, but it's I know everybody says this, but it takes so many people to have any kind of success like that the pressure I feel is I want to do a good job making music that people want to hear, so that the radio team and labels and management and everybody that's involved's job is easy, because we're all a big team. So it's a little bit of pressure, but it's good pressure.
Take me back to Prayed for You. When that went number one, the first person that you called, who was that?
Oh, probably my mom. Probably the first person I called. We're really tight. She's been here visiting. She actually just got her second shot this morning,
cool.
Second vaccine. Yeah, yes, it's really excited about that. So she's here, and she really. I've never really needed a lot of like outside affirmation. Kind of, I kind of did what I wanted, and even if it wasn't very good, and it wasn't a lot of it, but I still had that kind of drive. But mom was always supportive, and even in those moments when I wasn't so sure of myself, she was the one like, no, you're doing the right thing, just keep on keeping on. And so when that happened, I just felt like she was a big part of that. So she was among the first people, probably the first person I called. Yeah.
Nice. At Willa Payton, another fan question here. She says, you bought your mom hair dye, but did you dye your mom's hair? We saw this on Instagram. You did post going to the store and having to find the right box, the right shade. And then so bring that home and help her out with that, or how did that go down?
Absolutely not. No, she does not need my help in that, and nor would she want it, because I would find some way to like set it on fire or something. Like I have no experience there. I stay away from those things of which I know not.
I love this question as well, from at Grow 99, GROW 99. What's a tour tradition you can't wait to reinstate on the road? I mean, besides just touring itself, which I think every artist is looking to get back on the road, but what's one tradition you can't wait to reinstate?
Well, my favorite, I mean, there's so many things like that we're so excited to get back to doing. I know one thing I really enjoy is when we pull into a new city, we try to, I love coffee, and so trying to find the coolest, best coffee shop. And one thing that I've noticed is that like half of my band, and I probably fall into this category, is a little more rock and roll. Like we've lived some life on the road, and been kind of swashbuckling pirates out on the blacktop ocean. So we typically know where the cool bars are in a lot of these towns. But I've got a couple of my guys that play in the band, and they came up playing in like Christian music, like praise and worship kind of things. And one thing about those guys is they all know where the best coffee shops are across the country. So it's like a little network. Like in the morning we go to the praise and worship coffee, and at night we go to the rock and roll bar. So it's a really nice mixture.
That's awesome. So I want you to tell me about the video, but before we get to that, That Ain't Me No More is the song. Tell me how it came to you.
Sure. Well, this one was totally different for me, because the first, I moved to town to be a songwriter, and the first 2 singles that we released were songs that I'd written, and this song came out of nowhere. Hardy texted me one night. It was like, "What's up, man?" I was like, "Hey." He's like, "Hey, would you ever cut an outside song?" And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Well, me and four of my buddies wrote this song last night. We think it's pretty cool." And he sent it over. I don't know if he wrote it last night, but he had just and he sent it over, and it just blew my doors off. And I know that being a songwriter and moving to town, to write songs, you're hoping that people cut your songs. You're kind of operating on the premise of, the best song, kind of wins, or the best song. There's always a home for that best song. And so when he sent it to me, I knew that was right up my alley. I lucky enough to have a hand in producing my stuff too, and I knew just how I wanted it to sound, and it was going to kind of be the way that they had demoed it. And so that song just really kind of came out of left field, and that's a really encouraging thing when you're a writer, is that a song, at the end of the day, songs can move the needle, and songs are king, and that's how I've always operated, and that's how I came across and getting to record this awesome song.
The video, take us to where that was filmed, because it's really kind of striking, and at night as well. So take us kind of on behind the scenes a little bit.
Sure. Well, just here outside of Nashville, right there on the banks of the Cumberland, there's a concrete plant where they get all the stuff they need off the big barges on the river, and then they have a big drum, and they make concrete, they put it in the trucks, and they send it out. And right now in Nashville, where we've been needing a lot of concrete here lately. So the plant was fully functional and working, and the folks over there were awesome to let us come in and film that stuff. And yeah, I mean, the video is basically kind of a journey. It kind of tells a story visually of a guy who's getting a second chance, is moving on, is kind of doing well in that part of his life, keeping his nose clean and working, but then also having to deal with the fact that his smoke show of an ex has also made a new and different life with a different guy. So it does what country songs do that I love. I love heavy country songs that are kind of high energy about, kind of heartbreak topics, and but it also with a different kind of turn on it. And so we shot this video to try to show that, and we got some really cool performance scenes up at the plant and stuff, how well it's lit, and then it just really came together in a cool way, cool industrial way.
Matt, good to see you. Thank you so much. Let's get right to it. Everybody's been waiting for the brand new video for Matt Stell right here. That Ain't Me No More. Check it out.